Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science. Welcome to our Zoom gathering. And for those of you watching on other platforms, welcome to our gathering. This is our Louise Hay class, our self-healing class. I'm giving people a moment to sign in. So again, welcome, good evening. This is our Thursday evening self-healing class brought to you by First Church of Religious Science. And whether you're joining us here on Zoom, as most of you are at this moment, or watching us later in the day on YouTube, Facebook, or any of the social media platforms, Spotify, however you're connecting with us, you are part of our growing, thriving spiritual community. And we welcome you with open hearts. If this is your first time joining us, a very special welcome to you. Whenever we gather in a space of healing, transformation, and personal empowerment, a place where we come together to apply powerful spiritual principles that help us heal our lives, help us expand and create the lives that we're meant to have and the lives that we truly desire. As always, we extend deep gratitude to those of you who support First Church, our work, our mission, but most of all, your presence with us week after week is the greatest gift. For those of you who feel moved to contribute to what we do, there are support options in the chat. Anything anyone does, your generosity in whatever form helps us to bring this message to a wider audience. So thank you for being a part of it. Before we get into this evening's lesson, I'd like to remind everyone about our weekly broadcast. Every Wednesday at 7, Jimmy facilitates our Creative Living series. It's a wonderful class where we explore spiritual principles in action. Thursdays, here we are with the longest running self-healing group based upon the book You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, to be found anywhere. And then Sunday mornings at 10:45, we have our Sunday lesson, our celebration, which starts with a meditation at 10:45. And afterwards, we have time for personal sharing, which many of you know, and it's something you all look forward to. Every one of our gatherings offers an opportunity to deepen our connection with Spirit and with one another, and most importantly, with ourselves. So we encourage you to tune in regularly. We encourage you to watch the rebroadcast. We encourage you to, on YouTube, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's another way to help support the church, and also it allows you to easily find us to watch the lessons, the meditations, 24 hours a day. So this is a Louise Hay class. It's a self-healing class, and every week we have a different theme. Tonight's theme is entitled Your Life, Your Power. So we're exploring a powerful truth, one that Louise Hay, Ernest Holmes, and many of the great spiritual teachers have emphasized. And it is, you are powerful. You're not powerless. You're powerful beyond measure. You're deeply connected to a force greater than any circumstance you will ever face. You're always bigger than what's in your life. This teaching isn't about gaining power. It's about awakening to the power that's already yours. So many of us forget the influence that we have, the power that we have. I tell you in many lessons, you are an individualization of this power. You're an inlet and outlet of this power. So we forget that we have all of this power, this influence over our thoughts, our choices, and the energy that we carry and that we bring into every moment and every day. This evening, we're here to reclaim at least the awareness of the power, right? Louise Hay, her teachings, taught us or suggested that we step beyond old patterns of thinking, beyond our doubts, beyond hesitation, and she encouraged us to step into the realization of who we are. In our first step of affirmative prayer, we will say we recognize and we know that there is one power. And then the second step is, and we realize that we are part of that power. We are one with that power. So Louise Hay was asking us to realize that you are one with this power. You are an individualization of this power, and every thought that you think is going to be creative. Every thought you think is creating your future. So this isn't just an idea. It's an immutable law of the mind. So the thing to know is life is always responding to us. The universe is going to respond to the energy we put out. And that energy is going to shape our experience based upon our beliefs, the beliefs that we hold most consistently. Many of us find ourselves caught up in patterns of self-criticism, doubt, and judgment. Louise would say the bottom line for everybody is they're criticizing themselves. They don't feel good about who they are. And they have this running inner dialogue that I'm not good enough or I don't do enough. And so we judge ourselves pretty harshly, and we also judge the world around us. Many of us wake up in the morning and immediately there's a sense of dread or there's a state of negativity that comes over us. Now, that's not all of you. I know some of you have really been doing some work on yourself, but it's a fairly common thing, going to worry about this or that or complaint. So we want to pay attention to that. We want to pay attention to where we are criticizing or complaining. And I know that trying to turn that all around and just stop isn't easy to do. Stop second guessing ourselves, stop second guessing our conversations. We have a tendency to judge. We've been conditioned to do that to some degree. But here's the thing to understand. It doesn't serve us well at all. Metaphysically, we learn in religious science that all is well, as Louise Hay said, all is in divine order. But we have a tendency to forget that. And so it's one of the reasons as New Thought students, we're always bringing ourselves back to realize a few basic ideas, one of which is there is one power, one energy, and that power is yours. So you have the power to turn it all around. Louise reminded us that criticism blocks the flow of love and abundance in your life. Every moment we spend tearing ourselves down, we're reinforcing a cycle that keeps us stuck. And there is another way. Of course, that's the reason we're here, because we need to be reminded that there's another way. And Louise called it living the positive approach. We say it living the affirmative life, because we work with affirmations and affirmative prayer. What, instead of judging ourselves so constantly and judging others, we practice radical or very real self-acceptance. That means loving yourself with the faults. We all make mistakes. We're human beings. We're having we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and by definition, we're here to have lessons, to learn, to evolve and grow. So instead of self-criticism, we want to move towards very real self-acceptance, loving ourselves more, and attempting to extend that love and that compassion to others. What if we use the same energy we applied in criticism and critiquing ourselves to loving ourselves and to acknowledging our inherent worth, and also then seeing that in others? So here's a couple of things to reflect on. What would your life look like if you released this pattern of criticism, being so critical? What would your life look like? Can you imagine if you just gave yourself a break and you extended that to other people? And how do you imagine you would feel if you stopped mentally arguing with reality and started affirming what's possible? What if instead of focusing on what's wrong and what's missing, you begin becoming the lifter that we talk about? What if your focus was entirely on seeing what's good and what's right? So I was told years ago that religious scientists, people who are practicing metaphysics, are the lifters. We're here to be the applauders. We're here to say good and see the good. That's the challenge, because anybody can do it the other way, I promise you. Louise reminded us, when you really love yourself, honor yourself, and give yourself a break and understand that you've done the best you could with what you've had at any given time, when you really know that, everything in your life begins to work better. Self-love is really the foundation of everything we talk about here. Self-love isn't a luxury. It's the foundation of personal evolution. It's the foundation upon which every breakthrough, every act of healing, And every expansion, the possibility of expansion rests upon self-love. Without self-love and self-regard, we unconsciously sabotage our own success, pushing the very good that we long for away from us. Our deeply ingrained patterns that are fearful, where we're judging ourselves and others, we have all these doubts, become the architects of limitation. What we do with all this negativity is we construct invisible barriers that keep us from stepping forward into our full potential. So we want to rewire ourselves. We want to rewire our thinking for a new reality. Your brain, as we've said in other lessons, is not fixed in its old patterns. Science tells us that our neural pathways, the habitual roads that our thoughts travel, can definitely be rewired, reshaped, and renewed. So with intention and practice with your affirmations and your affirmative prayers, with this type of dedication and practice, you can break free from outdated beliefs, and you can cultivate a mentality, a consciousness that will magnetize confidence, trust, and self-worth. Ernest Holmes declared, "Change your thinking, and you will change your life." So this isn't just a phrase that sounds good, it's also a neurological and spiritual truth. The moment you embrace new empowering beliefs, the ones that really lift you up, you activate a transformation at the deepest level of your being. Your mind begins to fire in new ways, forging connections that align with success, love, and abundance. So what if you decided, one and all tonight, right now, that you're not broken, that you're not lacking? What if you decided tonight you're not worthy, but you're worthy? Instead, you decided tonight, that I'm whole, I'm capable, I'm complete, and I'm powerful. What if you affirmed with every fiber of your being that you're worthy of a life beyond your wildest dreams? Because the truth is, you are worthy of a life beyond your wildest dreams. And the moment you can know it and sense it and feel it and claim it, this inner shift begins. And that's when things start to change. So affirm with me this evening, I'm willing to see myself differently now. I'm willing to see myself differently now, and I'm open to stepping into my power. I am open to stepping into my power. And next, I trust the process of life to unfold for my highest good. I let go and I let go. I trust the process of life to unfold for my highest good. Wayne Dyer once said, "You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are." Again, you don't attract what you want in life, you attract what you are. So when you're really loving yourself and doing this inner work that we talk about, all the good things you're looking for, they come to you, even before you speak them. If you want more love, you want more abundance and joy, then step into the energy of more love, more abundance and joy. This is the work. It's a shift. There's really not so much. I was told by a great teacher many years ago, it isn't about really that there's so much to do. It's more about there's something to realize. And yes, sometimes we have to take action, but it starts with having these internal shifts and realizing who you are and what you are. You don't attract, again, what you want. You attract what you are. So, I'm going to repeat it. If you want more love, more abundance, more of every good thing, more joy, step into that energy of abundance, joy, and love. Keep bringing it back to yourself. And if you find yourself being negative or off track, gently and lovingly bring yourself back on track and put yourself in a new moment. That's all you have to do. Never, never, never criticize yourself, and gently bring yourself back and place yourself in a new moment that's full of possibility. Your power is not outside of you. It is within you, waiting for you to claim it. So let's take this just a little deeper. We want to learn to live in alignment with it, right? This power that we have. Now that we've affirmed that our inner power, the next step is living it, living in alignment with it. Too often, people intellectually understand these concepts, but they don't integrate them into their daily living. falling back into old habits, doubts, worries. They hesitate, they wait for external validation. But here's the truth. Your life is responding to you in every single moment, every thought you think. The question is, what are you broadcasting? What are you broadcasting? So your consciousness, as within, so without. There was an old saying years ago that whatever is in your life is in your consciousness. And nobody really liked hearing that, as I recall. What it suggests is your outer life and your experience is a reflection of your understanding and your awareness. And if we want the outer world to change, then we do the work, we do the inner work. So what are you broadcasting personally is a question you could ask yourself. Is it full of fear, love, joy? It's a mixture. What is it? Ernest Holmes said, we are surrounded by a universal mind which reacts to our thoughts. This means that every belief we hold, every single thought we repeat is setting the course of our experience. So if we're always creating, we must ask ourselves, are we creating intentionally or are we operating on autopilot? Are we creating intentionally? Because we have this power. We can create intentionally. We can. But if we're not, we're just, life is just responding to our random thoughts. Are we creating intentionally or are we operating on autopilot? Ernest Holmes said there's power for good in the universe and you can use it. He was suggesting that we start consciously, intentionally using our executive power. So again, there's power for good in the universe and we're all part of it and it's responding to all of us all the time. You have, I have the power to heal, or we have the power to heal our lives. So how do we take this awareness and keep it in the forefront of our consciousness so we can apply it more? Well, there's 2 or 3 things you can do right away. First of all is understand that when you wake up in the morning, those very first thoughts you're having are going to shape your day. So you could remind yourself in some way to wake up with an affirmation or an exclamation of some really positive thing to start your day off. Before you check your phone or engage with the outside world, take a moment to affirm and center yourself. You might say something like, today I align myself with love, or you might just go for, I recognize I'm one with the source. I'm inlet and outlet of God consciousness. Or maybe just some simple thoughts like, I align myself with love. I choose confidence today. Today I expect good would be a simple one. And then resolve yourself to be the guardian at the gate. Every single Thursday I ask the question, what has it been like being you? Because I'm wanting people to start paying attention to that inner dialogue. Because that inner dialogue, which you think is so, you think your thinking is random and it doesn't make any difference. But that's not true. That inner dialogue is creating your experience. And we want to learn to become the guardian at the gate of that very conversation. I've oftentimes said this is the most important conversation any of us ever have, which is the conversation that we're having with ourselves all day long. So we want to be the guardian at the gate. That was a term, I think, that came from Florence Scovel Shinn. It's an important concept, paying attention and redirecting that inner conversation. And we want to always realize that we are one with this power. And we want to watch our words and we want to watch our thinking, knowing that our words have creative power. And we ask ourselves, I ask you, are you speaking limitation into your life or are you speaking possibility? So I'm always self-correcting. I'm sure you catch me as I'm doing it. And I think it's a good thing for all of us to be self-correcting and not to be too hard on ourselves because we're growing, we're evolving. I had a teacher who used to say we're all evoluting along, and we do our work in consciousness, each and every one of us. And be mindful. Here's my question again. Are you speaking limitation into your life with your words and thoughts? Or are you speaking limitation or are you speaking possibility? Every time you hear yourself say, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have enough time, energy, or money I don't have. Whenever you find yourself doing anything like that or being critical, stop it. Just stop it and replace it with a positive statement, such as you could say, I'm capable. I'm worthy. I have everything I need. I'm supplied and supported. I have everything I need within me. And after you do your affirmations, you bring yourself to a point where you know that these affirmations are true, where you start to have a shift in your understanding and consciousness. Then take some inspired action. That's the third thing. The universe responds not just to our thoughts, but also to our actions. So, there's an expression, we do our work in mind, we treat, and then we move our feet. Once we become clear, then we take the action, or sometimes we take the actions to help us be clear. But we want to take inspired action. We want to partner up with Spirit, invite, inquire within. And when you act from a place of connection and trust, instead of fear, doors will open. And even when we take small, bold steps, we align with greater possibilities. So I want to invite everyone today to understand or to see your life in a bigger way, and to understand that you are caused your own experience. You're a creator. And I want you to see your life as a co-creation, because you're an aspect of Spirit. You're an individualization of life. And so most of us were taught that life is always happening to us, and that we were at the mercy of circumstances. But in New Thought teaches us that we are caused to our own experience, and life happens through us. So when we align ourselves and we get connected, when we realize our connection with Source, we stop reacting to everything, and we start co-creating with life. We don't react to life. We realize, and if something's happening, it's happening for us. And we reflect, and we accept, and we create a new intention. Louise often encouraged us by saying, or she encouraged us to say, life loves me. So can you imagine yourself? Well, you could look in the mirror, address yourself. You can say, life loves me, and I am open and receptive. Or life loves me, and I am open to receiving all of its gifts. How often do we actually live from this place of knowing that I'm connected with Source, and that I'm open to receiving all the good that there is? What if today we fully embrace the idea that life is conspiring in our favor? There's a line from the Course in Miracles many of you know I'm very fond of, which is, it takes great wisdom to understand that all events, circumstances, and happenings are helpful. And that line suggests that all is well, as Louise would say, and everything's working out. It's working out. We don't have to fight it. We don't have to resist. We don't have to criticize. We can take a breath and we can relax, and we can know that all is well. So what if we began to understand that all is well, and that every challenge is always going to be an invitation to step up, and realize our power? Affirm with me, I align my thoughts, words, and actions with my highest good. Yes, I align my thoughts, words, and actions with my highest good. And next, I am a conscious creator of my reality. I am a conscious, powerful creator of my reality. And next, I trust that life is unfolding for me in perfect timing. I'm in the perfect place, perfect time. So let's take a deep breath and let that truth settle in. So now let's move a little bit deeper into this awareness. Let's consider, now that we've explored how to live in alignment with our power, let's take this intellectual understanding into more direct experience. Little guided process to help anchor this all into our consciousness. I've called this process awakening to our inner power. So let's take a moment to settle in and to know that all is well. You can close your eyes if you want, and take a deep breath, and another. Inhaling deeply, drawing in peace, connecting with your Source, realizing you're one with Source. Another breath, of clarity and renewal. Exhaling, releasing any tension, any doubt, any resistance. Breathe again. Let yourself arrive fully in this moment where there's no past, no future, where there is now. Notice the surface beneath you, supporting you completely. The chair you're in, notice how you're relaxed. Note that the surface beneath you is supporting you as if the entire universe is holding you in perfect harmony. Now I'd like you to go to that place that Louise speaks of deep at the center of your being, the sacred space where your infinite power resides. This power is not given to you by the outside world. This power is not dependent on circumstances or approval. This power has always been yours. Imagine now a warm, golden light beginning to glow in your heart center, deep in the center of your being. Imagine this light so radiant, so alive that it feels like the very essence of love itself. This is your divine power. It is ancient. It is limitless. It is you. Breathe in again. With every breath, feel this golden light expanding. Notice that it's growing larger, warmer, more luminous. It's spreading through your chest, filling your arms, your hands, flowing down to your legs, your feet. It's moving through you until your entire being is bathed in this luminous golden presence. You are this light. You are this power. There has never, ever been a moment when you were separate from it. So affirm gently with your mind and heart, I am one with infinite power. I am one with infinite power. I trust the wisdom within me. I create my reality with ease. I create my reality with ease and grace. Let these words settle in. Let them take root. Feel them. As you rest in this awareness, notice the shift within you. Any doubts, any smallness, any fears, anything that's petty, any and all of it dissolves in the radiance of your magnificent being. You are not limited. You are not powerless. You are a force of life itself. You are an individualization of this energy. You have always been. Imagine yourself placing your hands over your heart, taking one more deep, nourishing breath. Sense, feel the gratitude rising within you. Gratitude for yourself, gratitude for this moment, for the truth that is now alive in you. Slowly, gently, bring your awareness back to the present moment. You could wiggle your toes, your fingers, and feel the world around you. And you can now open your eyes. You are centered. You are so powerful. You are ready to step forward with clarity, with greater clarity, trust, and absolute knowing of who you are. So to solidify all this, this shift in consciousness, let's affirm together. I awaken to the power within me. Yes, I awaken to the power within me. I trust the divine intelligence that guides my life, that's always present. Again, I trust the divine guidance that guides my life and is always present. And now I move forward with confidence and grace. Again, I move forward with confidence and grace. So let's take a deep breath in and let this truth settle deeply within us. You're not the same as you were before this meditation. Something within you has awakened or been kindled, reawakened. Now let's continue expanding the awareness. Let's take a final moment together in stillness. as we bring our time today to close. We acknowledge that there is infinite power and presence within us. Again, we acknowledge that there's infinite healing power and presence within us. This power moves through all of our life. Right here in this moment, I recognize that we are one with the creative intelligence of the universe, the love and the creative intelligence of the universe. This intelligence flows through us, and it flows through us as wisdom, as love, as clarity, and divine power. I affirm that we release all doubts and we step fully into this truth right now. I affirm that we're whole, complete, and worthy of every good thing. I affirm that we create our lives with intention, love, and divine confidence. And now we let go of limitation and we embrace expansion. We trust that life is supporting us, guiding us, and revealing our highest path. And so in gratitude, I declare that all is well and everything is unfolding perfectly. And so it is. Again, and so it is. So now we want to carry this power forward, the power we felt here tonight. The power we felt here tonight doesn't stay behind. It moves with us. It becomes part of us, weaving itself into our thoughts, our choices, our actions. But the real practice, that begins the moment we step back into our daily life. We call ourselves here practitioners, not just because we believe in the principles, but because we live them. So what will that look like for you tomorrow morning? Maybe you'll start out your day with a simple but powerful affirmation, all is well, or all is well and I am supported, and life is unfolding for my highest good. Or maybe tomorrow you'll catch yourself in a moment of doubt and you'll choose to cancel it out. You'll say, next, cancel, immediately, replacing it with trust, confidence, and self-love. Maybe you'll take an action that reflects your power. Maybe you'll set a boundary, or you'll speak your truth, or say something that you've been resisting. So I ask you, what will you do? How will you remind yourself to trust life more fully? Because this is where transformation happens, not in just what you believe, but in what you practice. And I know this, you are ready, one and all, and so it is. Okay, at this time we invite those who feel called to share. We're going to turn the cameras over to you. Share anything that has come up for you in today's lesson, anything that's on your mind. Remember, this is a community, a place where we support one another in growth. If you're joining us live, you can raise your hand or Jimmy will call on you, or you can share your comments in the chat as well. So as always, we're grateful that you're here with us in this sacred space. Thank you for being here with us tonight, and so it is.